What's up, everybody? This is Geeks at the Movies. I'm Shane Grewich. This is Jacob Desitel, and today we are talking about Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 1. We're going to do a spoiler recap. We want to give you our thoughts on this episode. It's not quite a review because we don't like to review episodes one by one because, you know, it's a whole storyline throughout the season. But we want to talk about Episode 1 of Season 7, and a lot happened. There's a lot of blowback from the Season 6 finale. Yeah. People didn't like it. It was a cliffhanger. It was a tease. So let's just get right into this. Remember, spoilers. Abraham and Glenn are dead.
Yes, they are no longer on the show. They got fired. They're gone. But when I remember how I wasn't really mad about how Season 6 ended. Like, I was just like, it's a cheap gimmick, whatever, like, how they ended it. And then it started, and I like how they didn't show who died right away. I like how they kept it a mystery. They just showed, you know, bashed brains on the ground, and then it showed Negan dragging away Rick. I remember I also really liked how it just showed Rick at first, and then he said, "I'm going to kill you," and he's like, "What was that?" And then because I really like, I think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan nailed the role as Negan. I think that he does a perfect Negan as much as he can do with a television, no F words.
You can show brutal violence.
Yes.
Because it was brutal, but you can't say fuck.
Yes.
It's really stupid.
He says every other swear word in the book, but he can't say that. But anyways, besides that, I thought he nailed the role as Negan, and then But I want to keep going first. What did you think about the beginning of the episode?
So I didn't like how they delayed the killing.
Okay.
I thought it was just more of the same tease. I'm like, really? You ended on that horrible way you ended, where you teased it, and then you're starting the episode with a tease.
I think
20 minutes before we find out.
I think for me, I was fine with it because I didn't really care about the ending of the last season. So I was just like, I didn't really care.
Yeah, see, I really disliked it. I thought it was stupid how they did that.
Yeah.
I think what they should have done is they should have killed whoever they're going to kill, which was Abraham and Glenn, and then start the next episode, with that aftermath already dealt with, and get right into the Negan conflict.
Yeah.
Instead, they dragged it out, this 20-minute thing where Negan is with
Rick.
Is with Rick, and they're in the van, and then Rick's killing things, and Negan's threatening him, and Rick keeps remembering things. He has these flashbacks. It's just more of a tease. I'm like, can we get to who died? Yeah. That was my feeling was. And then, what did you think of when they revealed who died? What was your emotional impact?
For when it was Abraham, I was like, I was surprised, but I was like, whatever. I don't really care about Abraham that much. They didn't really build up, very much of an emotional storyline with him in the past season. So I was just like, whatever, it's Abraham. But then, when they killed Glenn, that was when I was like, oh shit, they just killed off Glenn. Even they did that horribly dumb decision in the last season where they fake killed him. They should have, if they had just not done that at all, and then they'd saved his actual death for this, which they did, but if they just not done that whole thing before, it would have been so much better.
Right.
It would have had so much more of an impact.
They undermined it by that. So let's just get Abraham out of the way. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if you die. I remember when they were showing, they had a trailer for this season, and they're showing you all the characters that could possibly die, and they would show the character, and they would show like a little vignette of what they did. And I remember a couple of characters actually laughed. I'm like, I don't care. Why are you even showing this person? I don't care if they die. Yeah. So when Abraham died, it was just more of the same thing I see in Walking Dead. You get these mid-tier characters. They're introduced. They try to make you feel for them. Like you say, they didn't try to connect you with Abraham. But in Season 6, they had that stupid shit where he was trapped with the other woman, I'm trying to even know her name is.
Yeah.
And they had this other storyline, this love triangle thing going on there. Mm-hmm. And they tried to make him more interesting, but I just didn't care. But Glenn was more interesting case because it told me something about the show in general. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about Glenn. I used to like Glenn. I no longer like Glenn. I don't care if Maggie died. She cut off. I don't care if Rick got killed. He could have blown his head off. I wouldn't have cared. I would have cared slightly about Daryl, I think. I still care a little bit about him. Other than that, I like Carol on the show. I don't care if
Yes.
anyone else dies.
I think
And then they're starting to ruin Carol too, because last season they started taking away that that cutting nature of her, that harsh nature where she start, oh, I'm breaking down, and then and this is the other thing with Rick. Oh, we've broken down Rick again. Rick's defeated again. Oh, Rick's pathetic now. Oh, what is he gonna do? It's all set up to repeat everything.
You see, I'm the complete opposite here. I thought what they did with Rick was, because I don't think we've ever seen him this broken before. But now in the case that he's actually the leader of this town, and that's gonna have lasting impacts on his leadership role in this.
No, it won't have anything to that in their show. Just like all the other times where characters break down, nothing happens, they get fixed, and they return to normal, and then they. It's just there's no consistency with The Walking Dead.
I am worried about the future of the season, but for just one standalone episode, I thought that I think it was the way that Abraham Lincoln. I can't remember the actor's name, but it's Andrew Lincoln. There we go.
Yeah.
That when he the way that he portrayed the role of Rick, I thought that his acting was very 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 good. In that it actually portrayed real emotion, because in the past when scenes when his wife died, when I can't remember her name, but because no one cared about her, but when she died, that was it's been turned into a meme now. The whole thing with Carl, because he was trying. But I think the way that they told him to act wasn't like real emotion, and I thought that he portrayed real emotion in this episode. That's why I liked it.
I guess I don't have any complaints about the acting. I don't have any complaints about the person that played Negan. I don't have any complaints on that level. My complaint is just I don't care. So when he's in emotional distress, you want to empathize with the character. So he cares that Glenn and Abraham are dead. I don't care that Glenn and Abraham are dead. They're making a big deal about, the group being broken down, defeated. Oh, Rick's at a low point. Yeah. They've done that multiple times before. And I still have a problem with Negan and his groups in general. I know other people don't care about this, but I do. And it didn't make any sense in season 6. Over and over again, they got crushed in every encounter. They got, and I don't mean crushed. I mean, like, there are times where literally the whole group that was encountering Rick's crew would be dead at the end. Like when Daryl shoots like a rocket launcher at them. Yeah. So over and over again, they lose dozens and dozens of men and dozens of men. And Rick's group is super amazing and badass. And then that's the reason I hated season 6 finale. Suddenly Negan has huge numbers of people. Suddenly he's an amazing, powerful person. What happened? That doesn't make any sense. And now I see this episode, and I just don't buy Negan. Like, you say he's like a comic book? Sure, I guess he is. Is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's acting fine? It's fine acting. It's just I don't buy him as a character. In this world, he's so crazy and insane. It'd be so easy for someone to shoot him in the back of the head. Be like, I'm not dealing with this guy anymore. I don't want to watch the show anymore. I mean, I think this show is I'm disgusted by it. This is like as bad as I could have imagined. Everything I hate it was torture porn. I couldn't stand watching any of it. Really? It was so boring. When Rick was fighting those zombies, I'm like, oh my god, can I just turn this off now?
See, I am the complete opposite.
And I've seen this reaction I've seen elsewhere where I saw people just like me. I don't want to watch the show anymore. I don't really want to watch the show.
I don't want to watch the show anymore either, but this was a great episode. I
thought it was terrible. I don't like the only thing I like two things.
Okay.
When what's his name? Glenn. When he got hit in the bat the second time and his eye popped out, and he turned towards Maggie, and he said what he always says: "I'll find you. I'll be back to you." And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan's like, "Yeah, that's not happening. I'm just gonna bash your head in." Yeah. I was like, that I felt for a moment because that was intense. And then the scene towards the end when Rick has to cut off Carl's arm. Yeah. That I felt. Yeah. I was like, whoa, what's gonna happen right now? Yeah. But other than those two scenes.
See, when at the beginning of the episode when Negan asked for Rick's hatchet, I thought then it took him into the RV. I thought he was gonna cut off Rick's hand.
That's what I thought too.
Because that's how it is in the comics, but it happened way back with the governor. So I thought that was gonna happen, and I was like, oh shit, and then it didn't happen. So I was like, of course it didn't happen.
That's another thing. I don't like this. The audience, they treat the audience like they're morons. And that's the complaints I saw for some other people that really disliked it like I did. Like there was a couple of people on Collider TV Talk. One person's like, I'm done with Walking Dead. I don't want to watch this show anymore. It's not for me. It's not what I like. And the guy actually said he liked Walking Dead. He's like, I buy all the comic books. I like the video games. But this version of The Walking Dead, it's just that they constantly tease you. They treat me like I'm an idiot. That's what I feel like. They treat me like I'm an idiot. I'm watching this like, don't you think I remember what happened a couple episodes ago? And the characters, they're all. I've known people in real life that have bipolar, mood swings.
Yeah.
That sometimes they're very different when you interact with them. These characters in The Walking Dead, they're not people anymore. Because they've changed so much. They just changed to suit the situation. And I mean, at the end, when Maggie was like, I'm going after him, just let me go. Really?
Yeah.
After all you've done, after all you've been through, you wouldn't be like, wait.
That was the one part of the episode that I didn't like. When she started acting out, like, I was just like, but
You're supposed to be an experienced, she's an experienced combat veteran. Who's done very well in combat.
Yeah.
So she by this point she'd be like, okay, I really want to kill him, but we got to do this smart.
Yeah.
Not just I'm gonna go after him.
Yes. And you know that she's going to be the one to encourage Rick to become the Rictator again.
Yes.
and go back and kill Negan. And they do something very interesting in the comics. I'm not going to give it away here, but if they end the storyline in the show like they do in the comics, then I think it'll work, but it'll also be a very controversial, I guess, like this episode was. So I don't I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the season, but and even though I really like this episode, like I thought this was a fantastic episode, I don't really care anymore because I know that they're going to change it. They're going to change how the characters are, like they do all the time.
Yes.
And so I don't really want to watch The Walking Dead anymore.
And here's another thing I didn't like about it. So one of the things I don't like about The Walking Dead is over the years it's got more bloated.
Yeah.
This episode was longer than usual.
Yeah.
So this in a single episode it encapsulated everything I hate about The Walking Dead. Right. It just the episode was more bloated than it needed to be. They could have cut down the torture porn and having Rick go out the RV. They could have cut that in half. They could have tightened everything up. But now there's 16 episodes in the season.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, I know. How are they going to drag out him being tortured and broken down? How long is it going to take to build him back up again?
Exactly, and there's probably gonna be some really bad soul searching episodes where nothing happens, like the Morgan episode where he's in the woods and it's like, is anything happening? No.
See, I'm not positive at all for the season, but I thought this was a great episode. Think about it this way: if all that stuff that you have problems with, if they had done it the way you wanted it to, would this episode have been more?
Well, yes, but that's like so revisionist history.
Because I thought this was one of the best episodes since probably season 2, and that's saying something about the show. This is one of the best episodes since season 2.
Season 7.
Yes. So.
Yes, of course. I mean, if I actually cared about Abraham, actually cared about Glenn, if Rick had not been broken down in the past, we had not seen this kind of spell, if we had not encountered the governor and the other dude and the other guy and some other group that I don't know, and the wolves and who the fuck knows, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But we've encountered all these elements before.
Like if this had been season 3, like if they had just gotten rid of the governor, because that was horrible. They did a
storyline twice, which was even more bizarre. They did it twice. Like what?
Yeah, that whole governor thing was just awful. But if this thing,
it would have been awesome. It would probably been amazing, and I would probably be going, this show is so great. I can't believe they did this. But it's not that.
Yeah, it's not.
It's this constant up and down, circular. They do the same. Yeah, they might change some of the characters sometimes. They might change some of the players, but it's the circular storyline. It's always repeating the storyline. Slightly different, but repeating, except for the governor, where they actually just did the same character repeating.
Yeah. I wish that they had, if they actually had an end point for the show.
That's the other thing.
Because they don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
They announced it.
I know. I wish that they actually had an end point, because then it would make me have something to look forward to. Yeah. And Game of Thrones, they've announced there's only 2 seasons left, and they're going to be shorter as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what the end of the show is.
And Game of Thrones is an example of a show where they really stretch things out. Yeah. They've taken them a long time to get anywhere in Game of Thrones, right? but it's always moving forward, right? It takes a long time to get there, but it's moving forward. It's not constantly the same thing. Walking Dead, it takes a long time, but it's like the same kind of storyline. It's
I guess like the whole notion behind that is like you don't know what they're going to do next, but we do. You do know what you're going to do next. You're going to do the same exact shit every single time because you've run out of ideas. You don't know what to do next.
Right. So you get more fake outs, more characters that are going to break down, and then they screw themselves sometimes. I noticed, and this isn't referred to this episode, where they actually built up a character in some sense, and as soon as they build them up, they kill them off. And like that's kind of like there was that woman that was playing the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And she was scared and timid, and they slowly kind of built up her confidence, and then she finally kills a zombie in like a walk in a back and forth battle, and they kill her. Yeah. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's actually like an appropriate like story arc, like a character building, and then you just kill her off.
Yep. It's exactly like this. This is gonna be spoilers to if you haven't watched Preacher, but at the end of that show, they built up some of the side characters that you didn't really care about. They actually built them up throughout the season, and then at the end, they die. And it's like this whole season was kind of a waste of time because all this shit just happened. Now it doesn't really matter.
I mean, that's a problem in general with fiction, with deaths.
Yeah.
Like it's risky killing off people. Yeah. I mean, spoiler alert: Jon Snow, he didn't die.
Yes.
But like, if they actually did kill him off, that would have been a big waste because he played so much of a role. To kill him off that point, that would have been counterproductive to your story. So I feel like Walking Dead, sometimes they kill people that are meaningless, and sometimes they kill people off too soon that might be more productive for the story. In this episode, it didn't give me hope for the season. I'm still gonna watch it because I really want to see the Walker eating tiger.
Yes, me too.
I want to see the tiger. I really want to see the tiger. But if that tiger disappoints, well, I don't know.
Yeah, we might stop reviewing.
If they kill the tiger.
Yeah, if that tiger has a very important character building storyline, and they kill him off, that's gonna be the end.
It's done.
Yes.
So overall, I guess you thought it was great.
I thought it was
great. You used the word great.
I thought it was a great episode.
I thought it was terrible.
I was like stunned after I watched it. Like, this was the best since season 2. Holy shit! Like, and then that reminded me how horrible the show actually is.
And I was stunned after watching about how much I hated it.
Yeah.
And then I've seen this dramatic split, right, where people are it's the same way you are, very, very dramatic.
Yes.
Like, oh, I thought that the episode was good. What are you talking about? This is really good. They did a lot of great stuff. And people are like, I don't mind. It's just not my style. It's like they're doing things that I'm not interested. I mean, The Walking Dead originally. Season 1 Walking Dead, the showrunner, he left. Yes. I want that. That was a grounded show. They even had science involved. They talked about, oh, this is the illness, this is the disease. All the science stuff has gone away. All the groundedness has gone away.
Yeah, I know. I wanted them to follow through with that because that was something that wasn't, still isn't present in the comics. And they introduced it in the show, and I was like, are actually going to go along with that?
Right.
And then when they introduced, I mean, I knew the twist, but when they introduced mullet guy,
oh, the guy who knows the cure.
Yeah. When they introduced him in the comics, I was like, are they actually going to go back to that? Then they didn't, and they followed through in the show with that too. So. Yeah. All of that's gone. There's no intrigue anymore.
Right. I mean, it was so amazing in that first season when you didn't know what was going to happen. But anyways, we've talked too much about other aspects of The Walking Dead. So Jacob likes it. I don't. Make up your own opinion. If this is a show that you enjoy, if you just want, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I just want to see zombies being bashed and I want to see violence. It does do that. It still does do that well. Right? The scenes with Rick and the RV would have been better for me if I was more emotionally involved, but action-wise, it was still well done. Yeah. I just don't care that much anymore. Yeah. Anyways, Jacob Destel, Shane Gooch, and we've been Geeks of the Movies.